Thank you so much. By the way, at least twice a day.
Oh, that's my baby.
Yes, okay, okay, that's what it is. Okay, so it's large, it's not a way to shrink. There you go, that's perfect. Okay, that's good.
It's amazing. It's
There, that's fine, we'll just work it like that. That's fine, we'll just do it like that. And we got people here, and then people will. Okay, and then I just hit this to advance, or actually, since it's a PDF, I thought it was a PowerPoint, so you'll just scroll down. Just scroll, yep, and I scroll, let me practice. Oh, okay. Oh, that's going up. Oh, yeah, I'm doing it wrong. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Katie, you wanna scroll during my part?
I'll introduce you guys.
Oh my gosh, so we have to see.
I said, don't be notified.
That's okay, I was good.
Practice too.
It's really okay. It's more intimate.
Okay. We're all on one side.
Yeah, I know, I'm like, I feel like I need to be over here, but then maybe it's better over here so you guys can see.
Yeah, so they
like,
can
right
hear
here.
you better as well.
Okay,
Yep.
so right here. Yeah, you're good to go.
I don't have time to go in the restroom, do I?
Yes, you do.
Oh.
Go ahead.
God bless
We're
you.
so cash.
God bless you.
We're fine. We'll just get started. You won't miss much. I'm not gonna keep you guys here.
Okay, we're late getting started, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the
It's okay.
file in. Okay.
Yeah.
Today's class is on, it's called luxury staging, but when I put it on Facebook yesterday, I said really, even if you don't sell homes in that luxury category at 700,000 plus, this is still such important information. Homes at any level can be staged. And I've heard people say, well, in our market, you don't even have to stage, you don't have to do anything. I'm just a firm believer of, it's a busy market. Yes, things seem to be selling easier, but our responsibility as a listing agent is to what? Get the most we can out of that house or that seller. And I've had proof over and over and over again that staging works so well. And it's always worth my investment or the seller's investment in staging. So I want to introduce, this is my staging team. I use Jody and Katie with Elizabeth Erin Designs. I have a couple of huge success stories with them. I had a house in Johnston that we had listed at 600,000. It was on the market for close to 9 months. It was full of oak. It had some white trim in it, but it was full of oak. Every room was a different paint, well, every wall was a different paint color. When I listed it, I talked to the sellers about we'd probably benefit from lightening up the walls and just neutralizing everything. And would you consider painting some of this oak stuff? They had a fireplace that cut off a room, and I knew it was going to be an issue when buyers came in. And I thought, if it's all white, it might just kind of go away a little bit. And their kitchen was already white, so that was good. And they just said, we've put so much money into rugs and furnaces and windows and blah, blah, blah. We're not putting one more dime in this house. So we had it listed for 9 months, would not sell. We got the same remarks. House looks tired, house looks dated. It was on a 3/4 of an acre lot that backed to trees in Johnston. And I said, I sat them down and said, we're going to reduce the price, not $25,000, $50,000. So we're going down to $550,000. And I don't even know if it's going to sell at $550,000, honestly. We had gotten an offer for $500,000, and they just turned it down. And I said, or we can bring in my team and we can talk about paint. I can't guarantee you, but I think it will cut down what you're going to have to reduce your price at. Jody came in. The husband drug his feet. It took him a couple weeks. He finally decided, yes, we're going to paint. They spent $9,000 painting. We sold the house 2 weeks later at $600,000.
Plus you invested in the virtual staging
Yes,
too.
yes, we
Which
did
I think
do
we have some
virtual staging.
examples.
Because they had moved out, the house was empty and.
Well, that was awkward with that fireplace. You were getting people asking, how do you set that space up?
Yeah. So that is a huge success story. And so I'm gonna turn over to you guys.
Thank you guys for being here. So excited to see you. Katie, you wanna go to the next slide? Just wanna tell you a little, I'm sorry, as we're getting used to the technology here on that. Oops. Yeah. Anyways, I'll just tell you about my story. Elizabeth Erin Designs. I named my company after my twin daughters, Hannah Elizabeth and Sydney Erin, and I started the company in 2003 in New Jersey. And my husband said, I'm tired of New Jersey, I want to come back to Iowa. And I said, you're crazy, but I followed them anyways, obviously. And we moved to Iowa, and it was one of the best things that, you know, we ever did. And we've just grown and grown from there and there. And I have 3 full-time designers on staff, and Katie is our luxury staging designer. That's with us. So excited. Next slide. I just thought, since it's great that it's a little smaller group, we can have a little bit of discussion. Does anybody utilize staging already with their clients here? Have you
Starting to.
started to? Good. Good. And then how do you guys go about introducing it? How do you get them on board? Because I think that's a lot of things that people have, or other realtors have problems with this. How do I get my clients on board? How do I tell them that, suggest that they spend money to make money type of a deal? Just wondering what you guys have, your tricks that you've talked about.
I don't really have any practice
You
yet, so I
haven't
can't speak to
practiced,
it.
okay.
So I'm starting with an organizer,
Okay,
professional organizer.
Perfect.
And I'm bringing her in to help my listing, people that are listing, get ready to list. So it's a little different.
well, it's the introduction of it, the start of it, because
Yeah,
I
just
think,
said, you know, I'm gonna pay for the first hour. It's a $65 gift to you, so you want a gift?
yeah, that's nice. Yes, I know, nice to see you, Patrick.
So I think it's a conversation that you have them flip the switch in their mind that it's not their home anymore, it's a house, it's a piece of real estate. And if they can do that, you know, then they see it from the immediate buyer's perspective, and what people, you know, what's holding people back from really seeing it as their home.
Yeah, I think those are all really, really good things. And Tiffin does a few things a little bit differently, and everybody has to do it because it's kind of like you're under Keller Williams, but you're your own entity. Like you are entrepreneurs. You're creating your own brand, and everybody has to do it differently. And how, you know, we like to see it is that people just put it as part of your programming. This is my professional, you know, how we do it. We work with the staging company, and when you hire me, this is what happens, and blah, 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 blah. Now, I know Remax, it was back in New Jersey, Remax started something where they said, I don't know if it was just that one Remax company I worked with, but they would say to their clients, if you are staging, you work with us, you're staging no matter what. And then they cover the cost, and then it gets reimbursed at closing. Like it comes out of their proceeds. So if they leave and don't end up using Remax, then they've got to pay Remax back. Like there's some sort of a document. But I just thought that was kind of interesting going forward. But there's a way that you can do it and introduce it to your own thing. So like when you guys use staging firm, or when you start using it, what are you looking for out of the staging firm to kind of help you?
Well, if I can't tell them if they need to paint that wall, I need somebody else who can tell them.
Yeah, perfect. So you're looking for backup. You need backup. And
take pictures off walls, change reds, do.
how to edit things out. Yeah, and show them what it looks like through the eyes of the camera. That's good. Is it like?
I want to admit that.
Oh, good. And then have you run into any challenges with trying to get people on board with staging? If you've used staging before. Yes.
They just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
You know, they have like oodles of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oodles and oodles of stuff.
And they've been there so long, you know, they just they have no clue.
That is true. And so I think that's one thing with partnering with the stager. Yes, we're here and we're Elizabeth Designs Designs, but there's lots of great stagers out there in the Des Moines area. So it's good to talk to them about, you know, getting things edited down, and that this is not your home. This is a property. It's going on the market. And I even had a realtor come to me saying one time, my client will not get on board with staging, and she wants to list her house at like 300. This was like 5 years ago. And all the other 300 houses in West Des Moines were white with bright black painted new shutters and a red door, and so cute. And you walk in, and her house, they've got gray carpet, gray cabinets, countertops, pink and white and black tile in the master bathroom with pink carpet. And I said, all you have to do, I got this. So I went over to their house and I said, Okay, and I showed him this, my old standard was this muffin that was like somebody took a bite out of it. It looked like it was smashed. And then the other one was like a beautiful one, like from a cupcake place, like so really pretty. And I was like, okay, each of these muffins are $3 or cupcakes. What, which one do you want? And she's like, yeah, that one. I'm not gonna eat the one that somebody already took a bite out of. That's already $3. Like, doesn't make any sense. I go, exactly. Here's your house. Here's a house next door that's on the market. You're asking $300 for yours, and they're asking $300 for theirs, and let's take it 2 or 3 theirs. And she's like, I got it. Totally makes sense. And she was just having a hard time. She was a little more emotional with it because her husband had lost his job, and you know all the sad stories that happen with people. There's so many things that happen with people when they're putting their home on the market. So there's lots of different challenges, and hopefully we can go through and combat some of those and give you guys some other ideas today. Thank you for opening and sharing some stuff. So a lot of you guys know about staging, but what exactly is luxury staging? Luxury staging is more an all-inclusive. It doesn't mean that it, like Tiffin said, it's a $700,000 home or $800,000 home, like we'll show you in some of our examples. Luxury staging is taking your time and being able to offer your clients a lot of things. Like, for instance, if your clients are leaving and they're not going to be in the house anymore, not only do they need it like staged vacantly, but maybe they need, like Tiffin's client needed some updating, maybe it needed painting, maybe they need new countertops, maybe they need a recommendation on a new tile backsplash or a way to spruce something up. Like, we can cover that because we're all-encompassing residential commercial design firm as well as staging. So we're able to kind of take all that stuff off your plate. You don't have to say the negative things to the clients because we're going to present it in the negative things in a positive. What is that? Compliment sandwich is what I call that all the time. Like, it's good, but you're not living here, so this is what we need to do. So Katie and I are really well versed in that. So it's an all-encompassing, all-inclusive, depending on whatever price range you're in. And also we use our staging furniture has been swapped out. So 90% of all of our staging furniture is items that we ordered through our interior design service. So you're going to see, like in that other picture before, like really nice pieces from Bernhardt, from Rowe, from any place what we sell to our clients. So you're going to see really nice pieces that are going to be eye-catching, that'll pull everything together. So another way that we're different, I think we are the only luxury company that offers luxury staging services in the Des Moines area. As a matter of fact, I know that. We are an award-winning firm, and we are working nationally throughout the United States, which is fantastic. And we've got a lot of experience on the East Coast and here. So that's good. Benefits of working with luxury staging for realtors for you guys. So we offer competitive marketing strategies. So we don't want to work with every single realtor on the planet. We want to work with realtors who want to implement staging into their practice, and that Tiffin can say, hey, Jody, I've got a client, here's the address, go do your thing. This is what I want to do. So that we can just go take care of it for her. We sit down with her and we're like, okay, what do you need marketing wise? How can we assist you? And she's like, I want pictures. I would love to have some blogs written. I would love to have a marketing piece that I could put in my listing presentation. Done. There's no charge to that. You're using us. We're going to make sure that you're taken care of. You're also going to get a lot from us on social media, because when that house goes live, we're going to be taking designer shots. You'll have your real estate shots, but that goes live throughout with your contact information on LinkedIn, on all sorts of different things. So it's another way to get your name out there as well. We have the ability to provide on lots of different projects. If we've worked with investors where they're like, we want to redo this whole house and we need to move a wall because this bathroom is very, very awkward. We're like, great, no problem. So it's a little bit more because we're going to add on a little bit of a design service on with this, but it takes it all off their plate. And we create amazing documents that the contractor can then just use and just go and get the job done. Which is awesome. Luxury staging aids in justifying the asking price. And I have a really good example coming up with that one. It was on a $105,000 house. It was awesome. So we'll go over that a little bit more. And then, just like I said before, the all-inclusive services, if there's anything that anybody needs, we can basically take care of it. We're an extra set of hands for you guys besides the marketing thing. And we're kind of the go-between between the clients, because we kind of fall in the middle everywhere we go. When we're working with the builder, the clients will come to us and complain about the builder, and you know how it goes. So we kind of like bridge, hey, you might want to just talk to your client about that. They're having some concerns. So we're just kind of another set of eyes and ears for you guys as well. And we offer a VIP realtor program for those interested in working with us. And then for your clients, we're again an extra set of eyes. I can't even tell you how many times we've gone to people's homes and just made suggestions, and they're like, why didn't we call you like 5 years ago? I never thought that, and you've heard that too, I'm sure, right, Patrick? I never really thought to put it that way. And I'm like, well, it's easy for somebody else to come in and say, you know, how you should do it. But we're looking at it through a different set of eyes. So it's another set of eyes and hands for their home. Luxury staging also we're gonna make sure that it highlights the best features of the homes, because we feel like we are a partner with the realtor. We're not I don't have a crown on my head. I don't wear heels every day. I've got work boots. I'm on the ground. We're doing things. We're an extra set of hands and eyes and ears, and we just want to make sure that the best features of the home get done. So we're working with our realtors as a partner, and if you use another stager, they should be working with you that way as well. And then we're an additional source. So like when we stage a home, whether it's just a verbal consultation or we're actually physically staging a home, people see the results and like it, and then we become a trusted source. Kind of like how if they want to go buy another home, they'll contact you as your realtor. We're another trusted source. So when they move into that home, if they need window treatments, if they need a rug, or if they wanted, what color should I paint this room if I want to just paint it all over, we become another source for them when they're looking for those items, which is nice. And then here's one of those examples. So we had a client who maybe 5 years ago contacted me, and he was a student in Des Moines, and he said, you know, I have 3 homes my realtor wants me to look at. My wife's expecting, she's emotional. I need somebody non-emotionally attached to these homes to help me make the right decision. I've never bought a home before. So he paid an hourly fee, and I went to all 3 homes with the realtor, and we talked through like what we could do with each home, what the potential was, and everything else. And they ended up settling on this one that they bought in Des Moines. They bought it for $105,000. And then after they did that, he graduated 2 years later, got a job offer in Ottawa, and left. And he goes, okay, well, I got a job offer. I need you to get the house ready to sell. They did nothing to it. He was a student. She worked full time. They had a little baby, and she was pregnant again. They didn't caulk anything. They didn't paint anything. They did zero, nada. So they left. They had it professionally cleaned. We came in and we staged it for them, because the realtor said, okay, well, I think we can list it at $115,000, which was good for having it for 2 to 3 years. Jump in price without doing anything to it. So they're like, that's great. So they invested in staging, and then the realtor came in. We got done on a Wednesday night. She came in Thursday morning. She goes, yeah, I think we're going to list this at $125,000 and see what we can get. And this is when homes were not selling a few years ago. And so she listed at $125,000. We made sure we were done on time so that she could get the pictures taken Thursday morning. They went live Thursday night. By Friday, they had 3 offers, and it went to a bidding war, and they accepted $127,500. So their investment was way more than what they even would have gotten if they just got it for $115,000. They still would have made more than $125,000. So that was really good, just by showing people the potential of what it can look like. And then, did you want to take over this one, or do you want me to do this one?
Either.
Okay.
So this one was kind of,
with you.
I'll move into the screen. Kind of similar concept. So this one was one where, again, they hadn't put a lot of work into the home necessarily. They did a custom build in 2009, went to go sell it, and they wanted to get the best bang for their buck. So they actually put some money into remodeling it itself. So they focused a lot on the kitchen and on the master bathroom, kind of those main level master bedroom spaces that buyers are looking at. So this was just a really good example about showing that if they have that extra money to put into it, how much more that can help. So they put $25,000 into the remodel budget and about $4,600 into the staging costs. We did the entire house that way. So that's why this one was a lot more than the cost that you saw for the previous example. Ended up listing it for 500 and got 485, so I think it ended up being about 92%.
95% of asking price. Yeah.
So pretty good for the money that they put into it. Still got a lot of bang for their buck on that.
And that was in 2000, that one was 2019 when homes weren't selling for $500,000. There was nothing in that area that was selling for that much. And one that had sold, I think maybe 6 months prior to that was like 695. It was just a completely different house than this one. So that was really good.
And then this is actually one of Tiffin's. So if you want lots of extra details or really want to know exactly who worked with it, this was actually one of hers that we did over in West Des Moines. Cannot think of the neighborhood off the top of my head.
Quail Park, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So we actually did more of like a smaller accessory type of staging. So we worked with a lot more of the bigger pieces of furniture that the client already had, and then came in and we helped kind of do cleanup. We organized some of their personal items, helped set up more of a staged atmosphere in the actual like living rooms, kitchens, mud rooms. I think we ended up doing the entire main floor, and then gave some suggestions on some other smaller spaces throughout. So
I have a question.
yeah, please.
So for someone that's just getting started in staging,
Mhm.
she asked me what would be the going rate per hour, but I can see you guys do it like projects. Do you ever do an hourly rate? Never.
No, because I don't do that for my business either, because I'm a people pleaser. And so I would be worried about how many minutes I'm spending on everybody's project. And to be honest, if I'm looking on a website for certain things, I might be looking for multiple people, and it's not fair to charge.
Yeah.
I'm just too,
Right.
yeah, I just don't want to do that. So what I like to do is I'm in business for 18 years. Tell me what you want done. This is 3 options for us to get that accomplished, 3 different price points. We always do like a gold, silver, and bronze package, and just say, here's a flat fee, and 50% now, 50% when we're done, and that's the way I just like to do it. And then I do have an hourly fee if people want to work on it, but not for staging, because that would be astronomical. I mean, it takes 8 hours for you a whole day for you to just design it, like get the floor plan and design, go in our inventory and mentally picture like where everything's going, and then another 8 hours to pull it out, clean it, make sure it's perfect, get it wrapped up and ready to go, and then you got to actually another 8 hours to stage it. It's 24 hours. That people would never be able to afford staging.
So when you went for the person that was in school and couldn't go, what did you charge then?
When I went to what?
When you went,
The first one, about $2,300, I think was their package.
For the to look at the 3 houses, I just charged a flat fee for like, I think it was like $550 or something.
Okay.
They weren't very far apart. It was just a flat fee, and we looked at the 3 houses, and
okay.
it took us about 4.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that helps. Thanks.
Yeah.
So go on. One sec. I clicked out.
And we always like to help mentor, so if you want to give her our information, I'd be more than happy to.
I was gonna invite her, but we had that other thing before this, so.
Sure. Yep. Well, we have business cards, so you can,
Yeah,
sorry, Katie.
I'll
No,
do that.
you're good. Sorry.
Sure, take a picture of this.
I was like, I'm about to get into a
And you
little bit
can,
more
and you can
detail.
go on
So,
our, and you can go on our website and find all this.
so yes,
stuff,
all of this we put straight up. Again, if you want to know a specific, or you have something that you think is a little different or a little odd, please just reach out. Let us know. We'll get you a quote within. If I can't give it to you over the phone, I'll get it to you in less than 24 hours.
But we have,
so that you can.
yeah, I've been doing this for 18 years, so somebody starting out, maybe, and I can help her through that, but sidebar.
So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
3 different big kind of things of what we do is vacant, verbal, and virtual. So vacant is when they're not living in the home. We'll bring in our physical furniture, we'll bring in the accessories, window treatment, artwork, all glitz and glam, everything. Verbal is our version of the occupied homes when they're actually living in it. So we won't bring our actual furniture into it. So like for Tiffin's, when they had the actual furniture, we could bring in some of the smaller accessories. We can help with their own items, placing, giving suggestions, kind of that way. So verbals will go through the home. Sorry, I'll get into it a little bit more later. But essentially occupied version, and then virtual again, when you have an empty space and you need it to be staged virtually, it's a little less, it's more cost effective than putting in the vacant pieces.
And this is a monthly fee, assuming it didn't sell in 48 hours.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Correct. So the only one that'll have the monthly fee is this vacant one. So vacant starts off, our base rate is the $31.20. So that includes kitchen, living, dining, master bedroom, master bathroom, and then any extra small main floor spaces. So mud rooms, laundry rooms, hallways, entries, kind of those that need that extra little thing, but it's not something where we're bringing in a bunch of furniture. So any additional rooms are an additional charge on top of that, but that would be like if there's a front office, or if there was one that we did over in Waukee one time where they had only lived in the house for a year and everything around it was completely brand new build. And he's like, I have to make this stand out next to all these new custom builds. He's like, there's no way. Ended up staging the whole main floor where there were 2 extra bedrooms. So like there we did the additional rooms because he needed it to stand out extra.
But then also with that, he used it for marketing. If it's a spec home on a builder, he's got those professional shots to use marketing over and over and over and over again.
So yeah, so that's the base price. You add additional rooms on top of that if it's outside that main space of area. And then rentals after the first month.
Depends. We
What
have
do you mean by
specials.
that?
We have specials sometimes. Rentals are usually for the main spaces at $650 a month because of the quality of the furniture and everything that we're bringing in. And then sometimes we'll run a special and include it in the first month, and it just kind of depends on what's going on and how much inventory we have. So
here's a question for you. I just had a buyer buy a staged home and she wanted to buy a few of the pieces. Do you ever sell any of your pieces?
absolutely. Oh, we've sold entire homes done already before. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Question.
Yes.
So when you're quoting a price, it's all in, right? You're gonna bring it on the truck, bring it in.
We design
Yeah,
it,
it's
pull
our design work.
it, professional movers that lay things down and don't bump up walls, and if they do, they cover the damage, like all of that. Yes.
So it's
And
real-
set it up and take it all down. There's nothing anybody has to do but sign a contract and write a check. Yes.
So a couple different examples so that you can kind of see a little bit of visual.
Is there lights that we could pop off or no, just so you can see a little better? Oh, it's right by me. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I saw the one behind your head. That's why I was staring at you. I was like, is that the one?
So
There,
this
then you can see better.
was a new build with a builder that we work with. So completely empty, hadn't been lived in yet. So
It
they
makes
just
such a
had,
difference.
yes, being able to see, they made the comment that the layout was really good, but it is also kind of a little awkward with the giant windows that they had. They didn't want to cover it, so we brought in a sofa that was just a little bit lower of a back, trying to keep in mind the actual structure of the home itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then also an example of a condo apartment that we've done. So this one was a little funky. They listed it as a 1-bedroom, but the 1 bedroom was upstairs on a mezzanine. And it was maybe 6 by 8 feet big. It was big enough to be able to put your bed, but the way that they laid out the stairs, you had to walk on the stairs on one side and the bathroom was on the other. So you would have had to like walk over the bed in order to get to this bathroom. So they had made the comment that they were like, yes, it's a 1 bedroom, but really I don't see anyone ever using that. So we were like, well, why don't we just sell it as your 1 bedroom or whatever, but not make it look that way. So we staged it as if it was a studio. That's a whole king size bed, full nightstands, full sofa. There's probably 3.5 feet of space between the bed and the sofa. There was so much room down there in that living room to be able to show it some idea new that they couldn't see.
Is that a Murphy bed? No.
Nope.
No.
Full king.
So what's
Headboard.
what's this up here?
So this is, I'm on the mezzanine looking down on this
Oh,
photo.
okay.
So up here, we ended up staging the upstairs as a little office just to show additional space.
Yeah.
They ended up saying that I think they had 4 of these units like this. And about 50-50. 50 of them used it as a bedroom, and they were like, they have a bed, it's pushed up against the wall, that's all that's up there.
Kids.
But they were like, the other half ended up having just a bed kind of in the living room space. They were like, they love it. It was just a new way to look at it, new problem to solve, gave them a new idea.
Just because the architect puts living room, bedroom on those plans doesn't mean it has to stay that way.
Well, and it was a very good example of like us working with the listing agents and making sure that like this was going to work. We needed to know the clientele. They said that they were younger buyers. They use things differently. They want to maximize their space the best they can. I wouldn't necessarily do this if it was a 55+ community. They want their separated spaces that way. So working together to make sure we understand who it is that's wanting this space. So here was the new construction. They had an office off to the side, very big, very open. They had a sunroom that opened up into this living space. So what we actually did was kept the sofa so that it would face the open spot into the office, so that if for some reason they came in, they sat down to talk numbers about something, they could kind of sit and still see all of the spaces. But then this extra ottoman to the side increased the length of that space while also continuing it into the sunroom that was just on the other side of this space. So this idea of flow and connection of how you're walking through the homes to be able to showcase and go from room to room.
This is a good example of scale too. So everything we put in is properly scaled to a room, because we'll get into that later, but there's other people out there that just to keep things down and they're doing things on their own, they put a little tiny rug and smaller artwork or stack it and it just looks so busy just to keep it clean.
Sectionals.
Yes, or gigantic sectionals that don't fit in the space. Yeah.
Yes. So to give you an idea of scale, that should be about an 8.5 foot sofa, an 8 by 11 rug. The chairs are usually about 2.5 by 2.5 feet. So I mean, they're good sized pieces to be able to showcase.
Because you got to get them visually with marketing first, because that's what staging is. It's just a marketing tool to get people in to want to go see it. And then you sell them when they get there.
We love the feedback we get, so we include some of the little quotes. This was from a realtor that we had worked with before that was just keeping on the quote.
Do you guys have any
sorry.
questions at this point? Yes.
What won't you do? Like, what's your limit? I mean, you talk about you want to go out.
Well, it is a
It's
Wednesday
hard to
today.
say no.
Well, I mean, if we don't have enough inventory, we're not gonna go crazy and go, we did that, bought like extra, and then it just didn't. We want quality over quantity. So we just wanna make sure that what we're doing is good and scaled and that we're meeting everybody's timeline. We like as much notice as possible. We kind of talk people through that. Like a lot of times we're in the middle of remodeling for a client and they're maybe gonna be putting their house on the market 6 to 8 months from now. So we kind of plan on that, a little bit, but yeah.
How are you addressing the fact that houses are selling so quickly now that we don't need this because it's gonna sell anyway?
People are still, they can get more money with the staged home. It's gonna fly off and it's gonna there's gonna be a bidding war on it.
I was like, right now, a lot of the calls that I've been getting when they ask about these different things is wanting to stand apart is the biggest thing. Wanting to make sure that theirs stands out first. You see those images first. You get those buyers into the house. And just wanting to be able to showcase it a little bit more so that they either get that higher price range that they're looking for, or that theirs in the small community is kind of just be like, oh, I want that one instead.
In terms of services, you have vendors like the person who hadn't done any caulking. Is that something that you coordinate and
Yes.
factor in on a pricing scale?
Yep. So when Katie goes and does a verbal walkthrough, let's say, and it's like a 2.5, 3 hour, is it 2 to 3 hours? Is it 3 hours?
Depending on which.
Depending on
we have
what
a couple different verbal ways.
Okay.
that you can go.
Yes. So when she goes through that, after that, she leaves a list. She's like, and people usually take that information and they do the staging themselves because we can't bring in furniture into an occupied home. So they'll call her and say, okay, I've gotten to the point where everything's cleaned out, but now it's too bare and I don't know what to get. Can you just either tell me what to go, create a shopping list for me and have me go shopping and tell me where to get it, or go get it for me and just come in and then put it up. And so whatever they want, then we'll package price that out separately. Or if they just need help, we'll just give you our subcontractor list. Yeah, that's part of what the realtors get with us. They get a subcontractor list, and I've gone through a lot of different subcontractors like plumbers and different things like that. But so my guys now know, and girls, because there's some girl subcontractors, just what the difference between staging and design is. Staging is more urgent. There's a sense of urgency. It's got to happen a lot quicker. So they know how to prioritize clients.
But you're also very happy to come in and do design if somebody's going to want to buy it or maybe live in it now.
Well, we've done a couple of different things, and Katie's going to talk to you about a verbal consult with selection. So we have that as an option, and Also, I was gonna tell you something else. Oh, a realtor contacted us and said, can I just give you as a gift to my clients when they move into can I just get a couple hours or just get a gift card that they can use towards your services or coming in to pick out some product from your store? And I said, absolutely. So instead of like a closing gift, they just give this beautiful little gift card. And the clients can use
That's where I
it.
was going, how much per hour would that be?
Yeah, well, you just tell me what you want, or I'll figure something out for our VIP clients. That's a fun thing about owning your own business. And Katie hates it because I want all of our realtors to get what they want. So we kind of negotiate and talk that down together. So
Also, like I just told you that I bought for $65, I bought 1 hour of a organizer. So if I wanted to gift you guys, I mean, it would be independent on what it was.
well, it'd be like how many you wanted to do. If it's a onesie, our hourly rate is $275, $60, something like that.
Okay.
But then if they wanted to use it, I would just say, I just want to get my clients a $100 gift card. And then that would get them, they could go shopping at our store, or they could say, I want you to help pick out window treatments and whatever, give me a list. And then I would say, that's how much it's going to cost. Plus you have a $100 gift card that can come off that total, if that makes sense.
And you have brick and mortar then?
Yes, we do. Well, yes.
Where's that at?
It's at,
Do you want me to actually rattle it off, or do you want me to give you a card with it on there?
Oh, I'll take the card.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get you one another
How
price.
much lead time do you need? Like, can you turn around the staging?
So for vacant stagings, I would say average, we're looking about 2 to 3 weeks is average usually what happens. We can go a little bit quicker or we can go longer. I have realtors who reach out a couple months in advance. Mainly I would say the 2 week time is usually because of movers trying to just schedule different people. We have movers time, my planning time, enough people on stage day to be able to have them in there. So that really is just time for us to get everything scheduled and planned.
yeah.
Verbals, where we're actually coming and just verbally talking through the home about suggestions that we think that they can implement themselves. I'd say within a couple days I can usually get in.
And then you would refer them to the painter? Like,
Yep,
to
we can.
do this, whatever.
Yep, I'll give them all the contact.
She'll even create like if they wanted to, if they want us to pick the color out and give them a referral, then we can just do a little extra with our thing for the pink color.
Can kind of put it into a chart so that they can be like, here's the sheen I recommended, here's the color I recommended, here's the painter's information, this is where it needs to go.
Be documented out, because I had a client come to me, she has 4 little girls under the age of 6, and they did a $700,000 brand new construction home, and they went there to look at something, and then when she was done, she rounded the kids up and she's like, what is, all the walls are like chalked up, and she went over and tried to brush it off and it wouldn't brush off. She's like, what is going on? Why is it all marked up? The kids had dirty fingers and they were marking up the walls, but she didn't have a paint chart. So, and she didn't understand to ask the question about what kind of paint they were using. They put flat paint all over her walls. So she had to pay $8,000 more to do it because she signed off on it, because they didn't have it selected, and they would have told her it was an upgrade and she would have said, okay, whatever, I would have paid the $1,500 upgrade, but now she had to pay another $8,000 to go back and do it. And that's when she stopped everything at the construction site and said, I want to so we did damage control and tried to get everything all together for them. Because, it's not a regulated industry. Anybody can be a general contractor. So if you don't have everything picked out and selected up front, then that's when problems happen and disappointments happen and people get very frustrated. And we are trying to do a really good job on educating people. Like, they're like, we're going to build a house. When should we get you involved? I'm like, you're already too late. Like, if you already thought about building a house, you need to get us involved when you're getting the architecture involved. So anyways, yeah.
Good plug.
Yeah, that's a good to know.
Yes, thank you.
You, a good realtor, you're gonna be with them holding their hand all the way and reading every contract.
Yes.
So these are verbals. We have 2 different bigger packages, and again, we can customize all of our stuff as needed. So one of them we just call our regular luxury verbal consultations, and the other we call a luxury verbal consultation with selections. So that's when you're needing those extra kind of touches, whether they need kind of some updated paint colors, whether they need a new backsplash,
Countertops, want to paint cabinet colors. Yep. Tile.
any of those finishes that you would have throughout the home in order to update. So they start at $375 and they can go up, and that count goes for at least a minimum of 2 hours. And then I think the one with pre-selections, we do usually a little bit more. It's usually closer to 3 hours, so that we just have enough time to be able to go through all the spaces and make selections along the way. So we will bring all of those samples with us. And we also provide PDF versions of all the information. So again, in that chart, here's a picture of the updated countertops that we recommended with the brand, who you can get it from, the SKU number on it, so that you have anything and everything you could need to then have that countertop place come out, measure it, give you a bid for what it would be to have it in that house.
Yeah, because what we did is we went through and we grabbed a bunch of really cool stuff that should be in stock and that is at a lower price point but looks like it's a higher price point, and we have samples of them, everything, and that we can mix and match and take to the clients and say, okay, there's like maybe 7 or 8 different tiles for different things and 7 or 8 different floors and 7 or 8 different paint colors. They all go together, but we're gonna go to their house and pick where they should apply those things. So one person, it might be a wall color, the other person might be a cabinet color, but they all go together so we can get it done pretty quick for that turnaround and making sure that they aren't going over budget and all that stuff. I mean, the price of wood just took everybody over budget anyway, so we've gotta,
Right.
yes.
So here's just a picture of us to make ourselves look good. Everybody's gotta have a good day.
That's a good thing, because that's part of the thing we did for Tiffin's marketing. We went to her house and I had our professional photographer come take pictures so that she could show people, her clients, that she's now doing luxury staging and different things like that. So that's just some things that we do.
Is that Tiffin in the picture?
Sure is. Here, you wanna take a picture and send it to her? No, okay, she already has it. But yeah, so just kind of an example of how like we can show, I bring laptop, bring the phone, I can show you pictures of examples I've done, I bring extra paper, we can sketch something that I recommend. And as long as the client's okay with me touching their stuff, I can move a couple things to be able to show how it is that I'm recommending them changing something inside of their home.
We like to do verbals because it needs to be written in their own handwriting. We find that when clients take their own notes, that they retain things much better than if we do the notes and send it to them. We have to go over it again and explain to them anyway. So if they take notes, and then they can obviously contact Katie if they have further questions.
That's human nature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still the philosophy that less is more?
Yes. Yes. You don't want it to look like clutter in those pictures.
I'm not saying it's gotta be completely empty, but
I'm
we
trying
need
to
to
get
pare
people
down
just to
just a
put toilet seats down in pictures.
Oh,
I'm like, why
I
would
know.
you even put that online?
Gosh.
Lord.
And the fuzzies on the toilet, just take it off. Take a picture, like, why are we still doing this? We are Iowa, but we are, come on. Yes, thank you.
I took class the other night and I put the seat down. I'm like, wait a minute, let me make sure all the lights are on.
We went into one house and this is a teenager's room. Her walls are all black with chalk, whatever. So I'm like, you gotta like at least paint that. And then her bed was a black bed covering and it had green tape as the outline of a body on it. She literally put green tape. I'm like, you know what? Don't buy a new one. Just when you take pictures, just flip it over to the dark, just flip it over to the other side. Let's get rid of the body outline on the bedding. I mean, we try and get creative. We want to use people to use their own items. It's not about on verbals. It's not about buying different things. It's just how, when Katie goes through, she's a look, yes, how can you repurpose it to make the space and whatever is in the space that's amazing, that be the shining focus. And sometimes it is maybe you need to get a new piece of artwork or something to pull color around so that the online marketing looks amazing.
I would say the biggest thing in verbals, I think that I'm constantly recommending is however the furniture in the living room is laid out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We lay it out so that it's comfortable for us to hang out in, to lounge in.
Yeah.
But it's not always the best arrangement for buyers to try to walk into a space and imagine how. So I mean, we're constantly moving a couple chairs to the other side of the room, or maybe we take one out and put it in the extra office so that has a little seating spot. So I mean, yeah, it can be anything from recommending furniture to the finishes, if it's the one with pre-selections, to just moving some pieces of art or packing a few pieces away because we want it to be safe for the move.
That's a good line.
No tin.
In case you want to know, all that breakable does not need to be out.
Yes, because you just said, people get busy, realtors get busy, they're trying to show the house, sometimes kids are there, and that all those little precious moments, figurines could get broken, should get
We
packed
just want
up.
them to be safe for you.
Plus you're moving, the whole idea is to move, let's just get it packed.
So yeah, the biggest thing with here that we end up hearing is just the fact that they didn't think of it that way. It's a new fresh of eyes. It's a new perspective of how we're trying to sell the house, not trying to make you comfortable in your home. So the last one is our virtual. So we do virtual as well. We have our Photoshop programs. The special thing about our virtual that you won't see with anybody else's is the same way that we use our designer furniture for our vacant properties, we work with all of our vendors to be able to put that same furniture into the photos as well. So it won't be the same photos that you see in 5, 6 different properties with the same builder of some sort.
Because it has to be in stock. And the cool thing about that is if somebody says, wow, that chair really made that property pop, oh, guess what? We can buy it for you. We can get it for you because we can order it because it's in stock.
And it will also be to scale in that room as well, rather than just throwing an image in there and calling it a day. We ask for the dimensions of the room. We know the dimensions of our pieces through our vendors. So if they want to see something, it's going to look the way that you see it in the photo.
This is also really helpful for builders that don't want to spend the money on putting actual physical furniture in. So this is that one of Tiffin's where it was an oak fireplace and we had them paint it white, but it still had that green and black marble. You know that marble?
Yeah.
That was so very popular. We couldn't get rid of that. Yes.
So on the woodwork thing, we got all this honey oak everywhere.
Yeah.
We're able to show them virtually what it would look like painted.
And then they painted it. We
No,
could show them, but we didn't in this one.
Okay, I was
We
like,
could. We could
No.
show them, but this is actually painted.
No, you can't.
You can't.
No, that's
Well,
why I
you
stopped
can't.
you.
No, we could show the clients before they say yes to painting it. They can't use it
Correct,
online
okay.
because that would be misleading that it's painted. We could show the clients what it would look like to get them on board with painting it.
Yes,
I
there we
knew
go.
where
Okay.
you were going.
I was like, I wanted to make sure she said it very
specific.
specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, the question was, again, you could show them before they pick up a paintbrush.
Yes.
Correct.
And of course, it's a virtual image, so it's not like 100%, but it'll give them the idea of what to do it.
Right.
Yeah, we do that on exterior homes all the time. It's the only way people can say yes.
So they don't end up with a full house.
Yes, so they don't end up with a purple house or a red house.
So yes, they can
or
see it a
pink
new way
house
that
because
it's not
Sherwin Williams
actually like,
colors go
just
pink
cannot use
sometimes.
for the actual listing photos.
So that's all furniture from Bernhardt.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing with here. They ended up moving that hutch out. And then we did,
So in here, we can put furniture like over pieces that are not permanent in the space. So the same way that we can't change an actual paint color on a listing photo just for liabilities, we can't take out a fireplace that is there. Furniture is not stapled to the floor. I can't take cabinets out, I can take desks out. So just a good example of
In
kind
your design work, not necessarily for staging, but could you show a kitchen or a bath, you know, like different colors of cabinetry? And
yeah, people do that all the time. They're like, we were gonna update the master bath, but we didn't. Can you just pick out the stuff and do a rendering to leave on site to show them what it could look like? We can't post it online, but you can say, show the realtor. Yes, just like that rendering, we'd have a whole bathroom done. Or kitchen, yeah.
Good question. Any questions about?
Well, so I was just thinking of a conversation I had with one of my listing people that are ready to list and not ready to list. And anyway, she said, well, Jim wants to do this and this and this. And I'm like, well, you could do that, or you could get an inspection to come out, or an appraisal to come out, appraiser to come out and tell you, but I guess I could just have you guys come out and tell them what, because I didn't want them to spend a bunch of money and then not recoup that money.
Right.
Or do it wrong. Well, yeah.
Or make the wrong selections, because one house I went to, it would just look like they just went to Menards or Lowe's and whatever was on sale, they put it up. None of the light fixtures matched. The paint colors, I've never seen paint colors like what was in their house before. I was like, that had to be some mixed matched bad paint. They just grab stuff. And it's just like, they just tried to hurry up and do it. And we're like, you don't have to do that. You even overpaid for that. We could have, because we give our discounts where we can. We get a discount with Sherwin Williams paint that they can get.
Yeah. So that'd be a good candidate for you guys.
Yeah, because then we can create, like if somebody wanted to add on like a lighting and plumbing thing, we can, to the selections, because we just really do tile, paint colors, and just quick stuff like that. But if they wanted to add on a little bit of an extra package, they could. And Katie would create a shopping list with links so they could just go on and purchase, make those purchases.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I have a question. I'm in a situation right now, we're getting ready to list in a couple days, but the homeowner's best friend was an interior designer, so they got
that
advice.
scenario.
So we went and I talked them into painting because everything was super dark. I went to meet the interior designer and we picked the paint color and that was great, but I quickly figured out the interior designer was afraid to say you need it because they're best friends,
Right, that's the problem.
So give me like a mini, you know, since now I'm the stager because we're listing and
Yep.
like, what are the bare minimums? We've painted now, I'm trying to get the furniture arranged, what else would, give me a quick rundown of what you would look for.
Like,
Because I can't hire you that fast.
Yes. I would say you definitely want to look at paint. You want to look at how each space is set up. You need to find the focal point of each room. We stand in every single corner of that space and just kind of like look at it, take pictures and look at it with the camera to see what you want to do and how you want to bring attention to it. Sometimes there's not really a focal point, but they've got this big beautiful window and that outside is the focal point. So then maybe you want to do some panels and just to draw attention and make sure that the angle of the camera is going out that way to pull the buyers in to tell the story.
Is there furniture in the space?
Yeah.
I would also think about how, like when you're walking through the home with someone, think about how you're doing that for the transition and the flow in between things. So making sure that, for example, if I have a living room that has 2 walls, but the other 2 are empty, I'm not necessarily going to put these chairs clear back over here because now I'm having to like walk around. Just think about the way I'm stepping into the space with them so that as you're going from room to room, there's enough room for somebody to kind of stop, look for a second, kind of take a look around, and they can flow very nicely.
And lighting is huge. A lot of people have those LEDs that are not the right lumens. You want at least you want the daylight, like 300 to 400 lumens on those LED lights. And a lot of times, people, when they had houses, they have this big fixture over the eat-in table, then you have pendants, then you have the dining room fixture, and it gets to be too much. So I always say, get rid of either the eat-in fixture or the pendants over the island. You don't need both. Make them recessed. Just even if you have to make them like little mini can lights above. It doesn't take much. I think my contractor says like $100 just to, because you already have the hole there. You're just popping it up and just making a can just to clean line and streamline it. Especially in some of the dated houses that have like really ornate doors and handles, like it gets to be too much and overwhelming. So as a buyer, when buyers are walking through, they're like tick negative. So you want to just tick as many of those off and get a hold of those things beforehand. Lighting is huge. Screens block 20% of all natural light coming in. So I say all screens off and label them and just keep them in a nice place. At least for pictures and like first showing or first couple weeks.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps.
So this is our VIP program.
Yes, it is our VIP program, and it's on the website as well. And also, I think there's a way to contact us on the website, but if you're interested in it, you can contact us. What we like to do is sit down and have a one-on-one and listen to hear about your business, how we can partner with you, because you might not need like all the services. Maybe you just want to focus on one, and then again, create marketing pieces for you and just different things like that on how we can actually help you do your job more efficiently and take some things off your plate. So you can contact us to set up a little VIP realtor thing, or via Zoom if you don't want to meet at the office or you don't want to meet anywhere else. We can quickly do it via Zoom.
So we just want to be able to partner with you with what you need for yours. You don't necessarily need everything. As long as it'll go.
Okay, perfect.
How do we get a hold of you?
I have business cards for you. You can either call our office, you can email us. I mean, if you want to flag me down on the side of the road, maybe just do it with a smile and I'll stop.
We like visitors too, so you can come see us, see our showroom. It's got a lot of good examples of products that we have there.
Too bad Renata couldn't stay, she'd be all about this.
Aww.
She was here before, yeah.
We'll have her set up a one-on-one.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be all about this.
Yeah.
Or if any of you want, just let me know. I can give you my direct office line. We all have cell phones, so if you want to just get a hold of me directly, I can answer any of your questions as well.
Thank you
You
so much.
guys are awesome. You've had so many great questions. Thanks for having us here today. I hope you learned a little bit and got some good information and
Definitely.
yeah, perfect. Very good.
Well, thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
All we need is to be just
Okay, I'm gonna get a hold of these people. Stop it, or do you wanna say something?
Yeah, let me let them in, and then we're gonna tell them to
Okay, I was like, I don't wanna exit out before making the flash drive.
right.
Let's do the stop share first.
Yes, let's go. We never actually went on that. No. Well, but I still but so huge. They, Dr. Ben is such a ridiculous, you know. He was a good note taker.
Hey guys, we just finished with a class, so what we're gonna do is shut down the Zoom, and you're gonna have to come back in again. Is that all right with everybody? Casey, I know that that's you. I don't know that we, maybe that's not right, because we didn't record it, we just need to keep going.
For the vacants, we don't have.
Carol, this is better than the way.
Carol, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Casey.
Okay. If that meeting is over, I'll come in there.
Yeah,
I
we
just
just,
wanted this group to know what was happening. So are they finished?
yeah, they're finished. It was the luxury staging class.
Okay. I'll come on back then. Thank you.
Continue with then, hold on site. But within just a couple days.
So we're gonna end.
You're fine, you're good. Hi, Kelsey, sorry. No,
End it, and we're
I
gonna-
have been back.